a question to ask. When the fuck did you get a personal trainer?
Yeah, you said you got a personal trainer.
Yeah,
you mentioned it offhandedly.
You mentioned it offhand, just like upstairs, and I'm like, when did this happen? What?
Oh, I think I started going, when was it? I think it was like March this year.
Shit.
Yeah, so...
You telling the boys now? This is like you're like trialing it out. You didn't want to like tell us unless you were sticking to it.
I didn't think it was that
You're like,
important.
I can't tell the boys till they're serious.
yeah,
No
exactly.
secrets.
It's like a relationship. It's like, I can't tell them about it until
It's like,
2
honey,
months in.
I've been waiting to tell you this, but I have a personal
I have a
trainer.
personal trainer.
No, so Aki and I have been going to CrossFit for the past 3 or 4 months.
Oh,
now.
hell yeah.
She's been going a little bit longer now.
Oh, yeah.
But the thing that made me like click over to be like, okay, I really need to start actually physically working out now was this is so pathetic to talk about, but back in February, I went to Hokkaido for a day, right, to film with the polygamist family.
Yeah.
Right. And the entire day I was carrying around this backpack with like all my camera equipment, and, like, microphones and everything. It was a fucking heavy backpack.
Yeah.
We went, we ate, we did the interview, we finished, and then we had a bit of time before our flight back to Tokyo. So we were just kind of walking around exploring Sapporo, because Sapporo is a dope city.
Great, yeah.
It's a great city. And then somewhere along the way, I guess I pulled my back out like really, really bad, to the point where I couldn't walk.
What the fuck?
Yeah, and it wasn't like a regular like back pulling where it's like, you bend over and then you just suddenly feel like the twinge in your back.
Yeah.
No, it was like this gradual pain that just kept getting worse and worse and worse
Right.
throughout the night. And by the time I got to the Sapporo airport to fly back home, it was so incredibly painful. Like I was barely able to walk. I got back to Tokyo and managed
I brought
to
the wheelchair for you.
it was close, man. It was literally
Holy
close.
shit.
Like it was really bad.
fuck.
And I went into a taxi, went home, and I was basically bedridden for about 2 or 3 days. Like I physically could not
What the
move
fuck?
at all. It was really, really bad. And it was at that point where I was like, okay, Joey, you are so fucking not fit
Yeah.
and you're approaching 30. You need to do something about this. If you're pulling your back out at age 29, that's a bad sign.
This is the most I'm hitting 30 moment
Oh, dude.
I've ever heard in my life.
That shit hit me like a truck. So, I did that. And then it was a couple of weeks prior to that Aki was like, I'm going to start, going to CrossFit.
That's the real reason. Yeah.
What?
My girlfriend started going.
Well, no,
I guess I got to start going.
You can't let your girlfriend be better than you or something.
No, she was going to the CrossFit, and at first I was like, oh, okay, go ahead. I'm not going to do it because whatever. But then after that whole back
like, oh,
situation
shit,
happened, I was like, okay,
Yeah.
I think I need to
But
start
like,
going.
I think that's how it always happens though. When you get really into exercise, you need to have like a wake up call that makes you think like,
Oh, yeah.
I'm like, horrifically out of shape.
Yeah. Also, like just thinking about my past couple of years of going on and off of the gym,
Yeah.
I found out that I'm the type of person who is definitely not self-disciplined
You need
enough
someone to like.
Yeah.
to actually go. Like I
if you
need
book
someone
something,
there.
you'll go.
Yeah.
Right,
If
yeah,
I
yeah,
book
yeah,
something
yeah.
and there's someone there that tells me exactly what I need to do
Yeah.
to stay healthy, to stay fit, then I'm much more capable of maintaining that.
Yeah.
Fitness
So-
is tough, man. Fitness is tough.
It is tough, man. Like the first time I went, because like I didn't really know anything about CrossFit at all.
yeah.
Like I'd heard the name, but I didn't know actually how intense it was. So the first session I went, after the hour-long workout or whatever it was, I threw up. Like I was physically sick in the toilet, and the guy was like, "Yeah, well, that makes sense because you haven't done a lot of physical exercise recently, and then you're suddenly jumping into this very extreme form of exercise.
CrossFit's intense.
Yeah, your body is going
what
to
is
like."
CrossFit?
So CrossFit, from my understanding, it's basically just like it's like gym combined with a lot of like athleticism.
Okay.
So it's not just about like building muscle and stuff like that, but it's in Japanese. Great.
It's like a lot of moving, but also like lift. So you're like doing a lot of intense, like high intense, like cardio whilst doing like weightlifting.
Yeah,
Okay,
weightlifting, cardio. It's basically the entire package. It is, I would say, the quickest shortcut to getting the most fit in every aspect.
I think doesn't Nick Peters, the K1 fighter, Chris's boxing coach. I think he owns a CrossFit gym.
Oh, okay. Does he?
Tokyo,
Yeah,
yeah.
I mean that makes sense.
He's
yeah.
also insane. He's just unhinged.
And like every single year, I think they do like these CrossFit championships. So they bring out all these CrossFit athletes from all over the world, and they kind of do it in like a. So it's like it's usually like a time trial. So it's like you have to like lift this many times, travel this amount on a handstand, and then do a bunch of all this kind of stuff every single year. And it's fucking intense.
So it's kind of like a intense workout session with a little bit of everything.
It's basically everything. Yeah. So I go there now like once or twice a week with Aki. We have a trainer there that tells us everything. The dude we have is like he competed at like the top level CrossFit like a couple of years in a row. So this motherfucker's fit as shit.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've been going to that now, and I just went yesterday, and I am below 10% body fat for the first time in my life.
Hell yeah, dude. Nice.
So,
That's right.
Nice.
Shockingly, haven't thrown my back out since.
No, I mean, if you get like fitter in general, right? Stuff like, I guess, generally will happen less, or you can always go overboard.
Yeah, and I've always wanted to do it either way, because I've been that one kid who I think like genetically I just have that kind of body where it's like it's really easy for me to drop fat.
Yeah.
But it's also really easy for me to drop muscle as well, and really difficult to gain muscle, because you know how like there's a lot of people.
You've never really been like muscular from when I've known you.
No,
I mean this is.
I was skinny as shit when I first met
You
you
used
guys.
to be very,
Remember?
very skinny. Too
Sometimes-
skinny though.
Yeah.
Sometimes I look at like episode 1
my
of
God.
like Trash Taste, and I when like you see your mate every week, so you don't notice like the small change, and you're like, nah, Joey's always looked the same. I go back to episode 1, and even myself, I was like, was I that thin?
Yeah, I look
as
at
well.
Too. Yeah.
Yeah. Like,
I think during high school and uni, I was this height, and I was averaging like 55 kilos.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, it's just like no fat, but also no muscle. I was skin and bones.
Everyone had that one friend in the friend group who was tall and skinny.
Yeah, I was, and I had like this. Big,
I was that guy as well. We have the same body type.
I was tall, skinny with big hair. I was like a walking Q-tip, you know. Like it was an eyesore to say the least. So like, so I've been doing that now, and I'm probably the most fit I've ever been in terms of like muscle mass and everything. But and I think as well, the great thing about CrossFit, at least the one that I'm going to, is that like unlike a lot of fitness programs where like the guy obviously, or the guy or girl tells you like, you have to do this amount of cardio today, or like this kind of weightlifting with the right movements, but a lot of them also kind of give you like dietary restrictions. So like to be like, okay, make sure you only eat this amount of carbs, or this amount of fat, or this amount of calories. The interesting thing about my trainer is that he doesn't do any dietary restrictions. He basically said like, as long as you're coming once or twice a week and doing the exercises to the standard that I set it, you will naturally want to eat healthy. Because your body is going to just get constantly, used to living this more healthier, more physical style, that once you start to see your body actually physically changing and how you physically feel day in and day out, you'll want to maintain that no matter what. So you won't be going out there like smashing a pizza every weekend, like you'll want to be like,
I might.
I mean, you might. Look,
I might.
It's just an Indian for you.
Look, I mean,
never gonna say no to a fat curry,
bro. I mean, look, like I can't say that I haven't had my cheat days, every now and then, but I've definitely just personally just seen myself craving those kinds of foods less now, just naturally. Just because, like, again, like I'm.
The more you take care of yourself, the more you don't want to ruin what you're
exactly,
doing. Right?
Exactly.
You're like, man, I spent so hard to burn those 200 calories. I don't really want to eat that chocolate bar.
No, totally. So I'm hoping I can keep that up. And
fitness is, anything that gets you in the gym or get you doing anything. Whatever. Works,
when's your next cyclotton? I stopped going to the gym now because I'm like, I don't have a cyclotton to do.
I did the cyclotton, and then immediately we had like a really busy week of filming, and then I went on vacation. So I did like no exercise. Although in Europe, there was one hotel I stayed at where I went to the gym every day because I had like this immaculate gym. Like I love exercising. Like if you give me like a blank 12-hour day and I could do whatever I want, I'm gonna exercise.
That's something I still don't understand. Dude,
it's like a meditation.
Do you like CrossFit? Do you like exercise?
At first I was like, this is the worst thing I've ever done in my life. Like I'm sweaty, I'm sore, I'm tired as shit. I want to kill myself. But then nowadays I'm getting to the point now where I guess because I am getting like fitter and my cardio is getting better and everything. Like at the end of each workout, I'm definitely feeling less tired and more fulfilled. Like I'm starting to get to that point now where like, oh, I'm able to like lift this now, or I'm able to go this long on the bike, or you know, I'm actually starting to see like progression now to the point where it's actually fun now to be able to like hit that next goal for me. Like I don't know, it's like a weird like, it's like grinding in an RPG.
But do you enjoy like the process of it versus like the results? Because I enjoy the results as well. I enjoy feeling like I've made progress. I can run a little bit faster this time, or I can I lift a little bit more weights. When I'm actually doing the thing, I hear people being like, yo, after you go to the gym a bit, bro, it becomes a part of you and you start to love it. I'm like, when the fuck does that happen? Is this a gym bros trying to gaslight me?
I'm not at the gym lifting weights with like a massive smile. Like,
I think objectively, the gym is probably one of the most depressing places in the world. Because when you think about it, right? I have this, sometimes I'm there lifting, like doing just curls in the mirror. And I have this existential dread where I'm like, I am literally in a room lifting things. I'm just lifting things.
No, that's me on the treadmill.
Yeah, well, treadmill as well, right? It's like you're sitting there. You're like, I'm just in a building training like some kind of
like a hamster.
Wheel.
Like it's literally a hamster wheel.
And I'm sitting here like, I'm like, objectively, this is just not fun. Like, and I think that's my only problem with the gym is that it is probably the least fun form of exercise generally for me.
Yeah.
Right.
And I know that I'm jealous of gym bros who love it because I sit there and I'm like, there's no way that exists where I'm like, you know, I'm doing like, let's say I'm doing a rowing machine. Yeah. I would love to row, just row so much more in like the fucking river or ocean. Just like taking it all in. That's peak
100%.
exercise for me. Yeah.
100%.
But in my mind, to be able to enjoy that aspect, like if I would, you know, to do like a cyclothon.
Yeah.
To be able to really enjoy that to the fullest, I need to be a level of fitness, and that requires me to go to the gym to then be able to enjoy it.
But I think that's why I enjoy going with Aki, is because like you know
share it.
we can share that experience, and it's been a great bonding experience as well. You know, going to the gym or doing anything with your partner, obviously, especially that, you know, of which is not exactly like the peak of fun necessarily while you're doing it, but like it's a great bonding
when
experience.
you're doing it with a partner, I think it's
because you're suffering together.
Yeah.
Exactly.
At least that's what happened. When,
and you can like hype, you know, you can hype each other up, and you can, you know, keep an eye out on your own progress, but also your partner's progress.
You
as well.
also bitch out sometimes when you're alone. You're like,
oh no, 100%. Like that's why, like, again, like when I used to go to the gym by myself, I found that so much more difficult because it was just me in my own suffering and in my own thoughts, and like there was no one else. Like, you know, remember, like, you know, when you and I used to go to the gym together quite often, like at the start of, you know, right before the pandemic, that was great because it was like, you know, while you're waiting for, while I was waiting for Connor to finish up on, you know, whatever machine he was on, I could like chat, we could, you know, chill out, we could catch up, you know, it was a lot more like a fun interactive time than just like putting on headphones and just silently doing this for 30 minutes. You know, like it's not exactly the most fun, but
I definitely went way more back then because I just had way more free time. Like I think we hadn't started Trash Taste. I had my main channel where I was uploading once a week.
We had one channel between all of us.
And it was a lot easier to like. I could easily be like, oh, I don't need to work for like 3 days because I did a ton of work the past 4 days. And then I could just go to the gym all day. And then when I was on vacation, it was great because there was this, and the gym was like, it was like some kind of like Apple store, bro. It was so nice. They had fresh fruits and like sparkling water and weird teas that I'd never heard of.
God damn.
And I was like, shit, this is where I just want to chill out here. And also, especially at the time, there was a League of Legends thing was on. So it was great,
okay.
Because I was just listening.
Is that when MSI was on?
Yeah, I was just watching the live MSI, like watching a live, and I was in there for like 3 hours, just doing like monkey workout. Because I was like, this is great. Because I just want to do nothing anyway. But if I can do nothing
and also get fit.
Because in my mind, for some reason, my brain categorizes like stuff into like work, social, and then nothing. And nothing. I don't know why I've called it like nothing.
That's just a gap in my life where I'm like, this
nothing in normally means just like procrastinating or fun, like or just relaxing.
So forbid.
I find exercising relaxing, but gyms. Oh man, sometimes gyms are depressing. It's so fucking depressing, man. But it's so good feeling fit.
Yeah, I mean, my gym is actually pretty good because, you know...
Mine's got no windows, bro. Mine's got no windows.
Oh, really?
Mine's got no windows either.
It's the most depressing shit.
Yeah. Mine is like 4 windows.
Because it's like you have to go like, it's underground, in fact, my gym.
Oh, really?
Because like my gym's like in the middle of the city.
Mine is like 4 windows, and the people who go there are like some of the nicest people because like whenever you're like at that point in the exercise where you're like, oh man, I don't really want to do this anymore. I just want it to be over. Like the people in my gym are just like, you got it, bro. Let's go. Let's do it. And I'm just like, yeah, all right. You know what?
Everyone turns out round and claps.
And starts clapping. He's like, come on, champ. You got it, champ.
I think that's
You got
probably,
this.
are you going to like a more like a not a like big chain gym, or are you going to like a more local one?
I'm going to a more local one that
Yeah.
also specifically is specific to CrossFit.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so the
that's
people
why
who
then,
go
yeah,
there
yeah.
are like do kind of like big, 5 to 10 people CrossFit classes, or they do personal trainer stuff like Arky and I.
Yeah,
Okay.
this Anytime Fitness that I go to is the most depressing shit. And I thought like, oh man, because everyone's just doing their own thing, and like and everyone's quiet. No one's making any noise.
Right.
And not that I want it to be noisy, but
Yeah.
it is kind of nice just hearing people like pushing themselves,
Just grunting.
just having a grunt. Like this guy, I remember he grunted a little loudly and then did a louder sumimasen, like it's a sorry to like people around him. And I was like, dude, you just benched like 400 kilograms. It's good.
Sumimasen for being ripped.
Like I missed that. I kind of missed that, like the Hulk man in
our old gym.
You remember the old gym? The
Yeah,
guy
yeah,
who
yeah.
like ran the place.
Oh,
He was
yes,
like-
I do remember
the
that.
He was like
Yeah.
the gym dad. Every
Dude, he
gym
would
needs a
talk-
gym dad
Yeah.
who is like ripped as shit and just looks after everyone.
There was
dude,
no way
man.
because I never really followed any gym stuff online because I think the online gym stuff is really weird. Like the
Yeah.
people talking online
Yeah.
about fitness.
Yeah.
It's a very weird online space. And seeing that guy, I was like, looking back, I'm like, that guy, he definitely took steroids. This dude was absolutely yoked.
Our
Yeah.
gym dad at our gym, he's this guy, a Japanese guy, who's like, honestly, you take one look at him and you're like, you look like a statue that the Romans
This
would've
guy,
carved out.
our guy, right?
No,
Oh,
the
yeah,
one
the
at
one-
my
yeah,
gym.
your
Like
gym.
he's like a Japanese dude, like 6'7",
I admire it. I admire it.
fucking ripped. It looks like Zeus. Like he has
Yeah.
the body of Zeus, but he is also the most shy dude in the world.
That's
Like,
always how it is, man.
yeah.
That's always how
I'd
it is.
walk in and I'd be like, "Hi, Keita-san," and he'd be like, "Konnichiwa."
I mean,
always-
they're always the nicest people.
Yeah, they're
They're
always
so
like the
nice.
most wholesome
Yeah.
people.
Because their
That's-
loyalty remains to the gym.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Exactly.
There's nothing
They ain't
else.
got nothing to prove. You can see, you can see the fucking body. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
exactly.
They don't need an ego boost.